Hello everyone. I have a question for you. Have you ever been clobbered while disciplining your child, considering limiting child screen time? We all have, right? I think most of the times now, new parents are searching for solutions wherein they can address the child's behavior or they can address this issue of screen time, how we can reduce screen time for children. Now, in one of the videos, I'm also going to explain what exactly happens that when we give in to our children's needs, like when the child needs to watch television or when the child wants to have your mobile phone, what exactly happens? What exactly happens to the long exposure to the screen time? But today we are going to look at top 20 tips in order to limit your children's screen time. Okay, now let's get started. Let me share my screen. Okay, so we are going to look at 20 tips to limit screen time for kids. The number one is, it goes without saying, and I know it's the most difficult part to do, is walk the talk. We have to lead by example. If the child is not supposed to watch TV, the child is not supposed to take mobile phone in the hands, we are supposed to follow those rules too. So this is number one tip, that we have to walk the talk. Whenever, throughout the day, whenever possible, just keep away from mobile phones and television. That will really help. The second is, it's the most powerful, I think, tip that I can give is schedule a timetable for them. For example, if you can just sit with your child and discuss what all activities they love doing and try to imbibe those activities throughout the day's routine. I think that will, take the time or take the edge off the mobile phones, the craze of mobile phones that they are having at the moment. But you need to set a schedule for them, the entire day's plan. Plan some activities which they really, really like doing and see the magic. The third is, it should be a privilege. Watching a television or having your dad's mobile phone should be a privilege. It shouldn't be given just any time. It should be a privilege. It should be earned. If the child has completed his or her homework, or the child has completed the household chore, then maybe for 5 to 10 minutes they are allowed to watch it. It's like a privilege. Okay. The next is encourage other activities. Now, I know we all are in lockdown and there are not much activities that we can, tell children to play or play on the playground or anything of that sort. But the house activities that can be done sitting in the house, like board games, reading books, or playing with siblings, or playing with friends, inviting friends over. I don't know if that's possible for you, but if possible, just invite their friends over and let them play. That's something which is really great. Fifth is, follow family rules and guidelines. So we all as a family need to follow certain rules and guidelines which nobody can break, and we have to instill these values since childhood on our children. So that's something that's entirely up to you as a family. When your child can watch television, when your child can have your mobile phone, or when can the child play with do other activities. So that's entirely you as a family. The next is technology free time. So there has to be stipulated time wherein the mobile phones or the technology is not at all allowed. For example, meals. During meals, the mobile phones or television should not be with us. It should be completely technology free. Or before bed. So I prefer before bed reading a book with my child. So that keeps her off the mobile phone. Then comes power of storytelling. Now, this is such a powerful tip that I can give you, is that once you start telling stories to your children, they are going to get interested with the fact that the stories can be so fascinating. They are themselves involved in that story, and they just love hearing to new stories. So whenever my child would want mobile phone, I would instead tell her that, you know what, I have a story to tell you, and that is such a fascinating story. You must hear it. And that's when, she completely forgets about the mobile phone, and then she starts listening to that story. So that's an amazing thing that you can do. Then the next is make technology work for you. As in, if there are any controls so I have researched a lot, and I have come up with this. This is an app, which is a parental control app. You can see that screen time and location tracker. So you can actually set a screen time after which the videos or whatever the child is doing will absolutely stop doing. Okay, the videos will get stopped within 10 minutes. If you set the time for 10 minutes, then I think the video will get stopped at the 10th minute. So that is something which technology can work for you, right? The next is assign them few household chores. Now, this is such a special thing for me because I have implemented it with my child, and I have obviously we all are locked down. We are less less with resources, and so everything has to be done by us. And that's when I started asking my child to hop in and help me with the household chores. So she helps me wash utensils, she helps me dry clothes, she helps me even with making of lunch and dinner. So that is something which I love doing with her, and she loves doing it with me. So there has to be some assignments of few household chores which the child can, according to their age, of course. We cannot overburden them with the word that would be child labor, but there has to be some amount of household chores which the child should be doing since childhood. That also brings me to the next point, is that the child is learning about teamwork, team efforts. It's such an empowering thing to do. Okay. The next is set dedicated time, like 5 to 10 minutes for them to watch. That's the kind of thing that you can, maybe surprise them with. I have a surprise for you, and I am giving you my mobile phone for 5-10 minutes. 10 minutes, what I do usually is that whenever she asks me for a mobile phone, I would show her the clock. And if the bigger hand of the clock is at 6, and I would expect her to give it back when the clock strikes 8. So the bigger hand of the clock strikes 8. This is something which has never failed me, and she always gives me. There are a couple of instances when she didn't give me, but then at that time I implement certain consequences. So the consequences would be the entire day, or the next day, the 2 days she's not supposed to watch TV, or she will not get my mobile phone. So that is one consequence that I've set, and I diligently follow that consequence. That is one thing. The next is give them homework or home play. So whenever you want some time for yourself, right? You can ask them to write A to Z or numbers, if you have little children, of course. But then give them some home play which they really like, which they really love doing. Okay, that is one thing. 12th is read a book with them. So now that's what I said. Before going to bed, I always read a book with my child. That actually takes the edge off from the mobile phone, and she really likes to listen to the stories that I'm telling in the book. that actually increases their vocabulary, it increases or it nurtures their curiosity, it feeds their curiosity rather, and they are loving the stories, they love these stories, right? That's next is keep a competition. Like this is something which I do not do diligently or most of the times, which I'll do once in a blue moon, but still that is a tactic which you can implement. So whenever I want to write an email or I have to work on my in my office so I have to complete some tasks for my office, I need to have my laptop, right? So at that time, what I would do is I would give her a piece of paper and a pen and ask her to write anything and just fill those sheets. And let's see who comes first. You filling the sheet or me writing the email or sending the email. And mostly I just pretend to lose, of course. And I just say that, oh, you're winning. Oh my God, I have so much to do, so much work to do. I have to complete it within time. And then she's so excited about it. And then she would be doing her own work. And that's something which I get like some time for myself, my work. So that is something which you can try and let me know if it works for you. Then comes divide time to play with your partner and you. So me and my husband, what we do is we divide our time. So like for 2 hours, if I want to work on something really important or urgent, I would just we'll just divide that time among us, and that's the time when he will look after the kid, and so we kind of manage it that way. And if so I have my in-laws also staying with me, so even they help a lot in handling her and keeping her engaged. So that is one thing. Then the next is play music and let them enjoy some music. So what we do, my kid really loves dancing. And so what we do is whenever we both have to work, we would just play some music, and we'll hop in between for 5 minutes and enjoy some music with her. But then other times she's just enjoying it all by herself. She'll be doing something, she'll be dancing in middle, she'll be doing something, so she'll be entertaining herself. So that's what magic does to that's what music does. Magic does to music. So yeah. 16th is teach them to clean up their play space. Now when we inflict certain chores, these are something which they are going to carry throughout their lives. If we teach them to clean up their play space, now obviously if you just tell your child that clean up your mess, they won't be doing it. So there has to be some inspiration, some motivation. So what I do is whoever cleans their mess first will get an ice cream from me. So that is something which really attracts and which really encourages my child to complete her, to completely clean up her workplace or play space, right? So that is something which you can try. The next is create flashcards to play. This is something which I recently thought of. I have never implemented it, but I think that this thing will work if with your toddler and your preschooler. If you just create flashcards of animals printed on them, animals, birds, fruits, vegetables, and ask them to sort them out according to their categories. That is something which children will really love, right? So just try it and let me know if it really works for you. The 18th one is monitor their activities on computer, laptop. I cannot emphasize it more, because nowadays kids are exposed to such resource abundant society. We live in such a resource abundant society. They are easily going to fall prey for certain digital things which they shouldn't be exposed to, right? So monitoring their activities is a very important subject. Yeah. The next is play games with them. take out at least half an hour to play with them, like an unstructured play. Don't force yourself to, we'll play this or we'll play that. Let them suggest what they want to play, what they want, feel comfortable playing, and they will come up with amazing ideas to play with, and just go with the flow. Just go with the flow with them, and then see, will they ever ask you for mobile? Now, the main reason that the kids ask for mobile phones is that they do not have your undivided attention. What kids really need is your love and your undivided attention. And once they get these two, they forget about everything else. They don't know. They don't want anything else. Yeah. And the last one is tech-free zone, technology-free zone. There has to be some area or parts in the house where technology is not allowed. For example, bedroom. Technology is not allowed. Any mobile phones or TV or laptop is not allowed. Or dining table. You cannot take your mobile phone and eat at the same time, right? So that is a complete no. Hence, we come up to the end of 20 tips on how to limit your kids' screen time. Now, I want you to really write down key takeaways that you have from this video, and try to implement certain strategies which I've shared, and share it with me if you really found this valuable. You can connect. I have given all my details. You can connect with me anytime if possible, and do like, subscribe, and comment on my YouTube channel. Thank you. I'll meet you next time. Thank you.